Today we're learning how to write an equation when given the slope and a point on the line. Let's say you're asked to write the equation of a line with a slope of 2 and that contains the point 3, 7 in slope-intercept form. Well, remember that slope-intercept form is written as f of x equals mx plus b, where the m represents the slope of a line and the b represents the y-intercept. We can start writing our equation by putting f of x equals, and then we can look at the problem and see there's a slope of 2. So we can write f of x equals 2x. We also know that the line goes through the point 3, 7, but that is not the y-intercept. Remember that on a graph, the y-intercept will be a point that falls directly on the y-axis. And I can observe that all of the points on the y-axis have an x-coordinate of 0. We can use this information to help us. If we make a table and write the x and y values of points on the line, we can start with the point we know, an x of 3 and a y of 7. Then we can use the knowledge that our slope is 2 to find the other points. If I were to move backwards to an x-coordinate of 2, I know that my y-coordinate will move down 2. So it'll move from 7 down to 5. If I move another point back on the line to an x-coordinate of 1, my y-coordinate goes down another 2 to 3. And if I were to move backwards one more time to an x-coordinate of 0, my y-coordinate goes down 2 again to a y-coordinate of 1. Now I have a point where the x-coordinate is 0. That means it's on my y-axis, and I can see the y value here is 1. So I know the y-intercept is 1, and I can write into my equation plus 1. Now I have successfully written this equation in slope-intercept form. Let's do one of these together. Let's write the equation of a line with a slope of 3 that contains the point 2, 9 in slope-intercept form. Well, we can start by writing that f of x equals, and what does the problem say the slope of this line is? Well, we can read that the slope is 3, so we'll write 3x into our equation. Next, we see that there's the point 2, 9 on our line, but that's not our y-intercept. Remember that on a graph, our y-intercept will be along the y-axis. What is true about all points on the y-axis? All points on the y-axis have an x-coordinate that equals 0, and we can use this knowledge to help us. If we make a table and think about writing down the x and y coordinates of different points, we can start with our point, an x of 2, a y of 9. Now, knowing that the slope of this line is 3, when I move backwards to an x-coordinate of 1, what is my y-coordinate? Well, I moved backwards 1, so I'll move down 3. My y-coordinate will move from 9 to 6. If I go backwards again to an x-coordinate of 0, what is my y-coordinate? Well, my y-coordinate will go down another 3, so 6 minus 3 will bring me to 3. Now I have a point with an x-coordinate of 0. What does that mean about this point? It means this point is on our y-axis. This is our y-intercept. So what is the y-intercept of this line? Well, the y-intercept will be the 3. So we could write into our equation plus 3. f of x equals 3x plus 3 is the slope-intercept form of this line. Let's practice with another. Let's write the equation of a line with a slope of negative 2 that contains the point negative 3, 2 in slope-intercept form. Well, we can start by writing f of x equals, and what is the slope of this line? We can see in the problem the slope is negative 2, so our equation is negative 2x. Then we see the point negative 3, 2 is on the line, but that's not our y-intercept. We'll need to use a table of x and y coordinates to find that y-intercept. We can see the first point is negative 3, 2. Now I can see that the slope of my line is negative 2, and so this is tricky, but when I move to an x-coordinate of negative 2, what is my y-coordinate? Well, when I'm moving my x-coordinate from negative 3 to negative 2, I'm moving forward 1, and so my y-coordinate is going to go down 2. So it'll move from 2 to 0. If I move over again to an x-coordinate of negative 1, what is my y-coordinate? Well, my y-coordinate, I'll move down another 2. It'll be negative 2. And finally, if I move over one more time to an x-coordinate of 0, what is my y-coordinate? Well, you can see my y-coordinate would be negative 4. So what is the y-intercept of this line? Well, remember the y-intercept is when the x-coordinate is 0. So we can see my y-intercept is negative 4. In our equation, we'll write minus 4. So f of x equals negative 2x minus 4 is how to write the equation of this line in slope-intercept form. Now it's time for you to practice on your own. Write the equation of the line with a slope of 4 that contains the point 2, negative 2 in slope-intercept form. Well, you can start by writing that f of x equals, and you see the slope is 4, so 4x. Now we know a point, but we don't know the y-intercept. We can use a table with x and y coordinates to figure it out. Our first point is 2, negative 2. And because our slope is 4, we can figure out the other points. When I move backwards to an x-coordinate of 1, my line is going to move down 4 to a y-coordinate of negative 6. When I move backwards another 1 place on my x-coordinate, I'll move down another 4 to a y-coordinate of negative 10. And because my x-coordinate is 0, I know this is my y-intercept. Negative 10 is the y-intercept, and so we'll write it into our equation, minus 10. F of x equals 4x minus 10 is the correct way to write the equation of this line in slope-intercept form. Here's another. Write the equation of a line with a slope of negative 2 that contains the point 3, 1 in slope-intercept form. Well, we know that f of x will equal, and our slope is negative 2, so we'll write negative 2x. Now we see the point 3, 1, and we can use a table of x and y coordinates to find the y-intercept. We can start with the point 3, 1, and then because our slope is negative 2, we can find the other points. Now this one was a little bit tricky, but when I move backwards to an x-coordinate of 2, my slope is negative and I'm moving backwards. So my y-coordinate actually goes up 2 to a y-coordinate of 3. I can do that again. I move backwards to an x-coordinate of 1 and my y-coordinate moves up 2 to become 5. I can move back another 1 to an x-coordinate of 0 and my y-coordinate becomes 7. Then because I've found my x-coordinate of 0, I can see my y-intercept is 7. So into my equation, I can write plus 7. F of x equals negative 2x plus 7 is how to write this line in slope-intercept form. So from today, remember, you can find the y-intercept given a point and the slope on a line. And you find the y-intercept by finding when the x-coordinate equals 0.